Morning. Let me reload the mug. Gotta grind some beans, baby. Yeah! All right, you guys ready to go? Boom, 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 boom. All right, good morning. La 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 la. All right, good to see you. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Because trading is risky and not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. But please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne. Been doing this a couple of decades. I learned a few things along the way. So if you want to know something, you got to ask Papa Wayne. I can share some of my experiences. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, sure. Formal education, economics, we can talk about that kind of stuff. If you want to talk about starting a hedge fund, if you want to talk about real estate, if you want to talk about macroeconomics, if you want to talk about the economy or the Fed or monetary policy, all those things are available. Have you taken the Series 3 exam to become a professional trader? Hey, how's the hair today? You're like, yeah, you want to know about the Series 3? We can discuss that. Yeah. Anyways, let me know how we can help. I am here to help, so we might as well do something. Okay? I am here to serve. We have something very important coming out today, or in 6 days, I should say. 6 days summer school starts. Learn how to pull the trigger like a pro. Learn how to pull the trigger. Price action, scalping, vol trading. Somebody wanted to know, hey, so what days is it? It's every day, multiple times a day. You are going to learn to pull the trigger by pulling the trigger 1,758,214 times. And you will develop the confidence to get out of bed and do what needs to get done. So if PowerPoints bring you strength, this is not the course for you. If learning by doing, building muscle memory, then this is it, man. This is legit. Tactical simulation, performance tracking, learn how to select, confirm, and take trades. Okay? Very, 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 very interactive. You need to sign up. Here's QuantBox. Look at yields falling even further. Lovely to your mum. That's good. That's good. Me likey. Looking at the put-call ratio, that's good. Looking at the money market, that's good. But looking at the risk gauges, hasn't hit yet. No underlying intrinsic trend except for a moderate risk on for the longer term. A little bit of risk on. So maybe today's a buy a dip scenario. But remember, when you look at all these markets, 6 different markets over multiple time frames, we do not have congruency, but you do want to lean on the risk on. Thank you, QuantBox. How beautiful. Okay? So when inflation is high, typically you buy gold. Does that make sense? So when you look at gold here, gold is up, and I score that as bad. Okay, Abdul? Because of just what you're talking about. You might score it bullish. I score it bearish. Cool. So you could be a bull on gold, for example. Oops. Okay, you could be a bull on gold. Okay. And we had a conversation about this earlier today at the QuantBox presentation. Okay. Gold is bullish except for the charts. Everything is bullish about gold except for the charts. So all this is saying is you want to buy it, but the time isn't right. Not now. So you leave your quantitative analyst and you give your technical analyst a call. And you're like, hey, tell me when gold turns bullish. Okay? Simple enough. So you know you're a bull on gold. You just don't know when the right time to buy it is. And we have down, down, and down on the longer time frames. There's a little bit of up on the 30-minute, but the bigger time frames are all down, so you wait. Okay? Maybe from the C period, we can get an up, a down, and an up, but it hasn't happened yet. On the hourly, the trend is down. On the 240, the 4 hour, the trend is down. So this is not the right time to buy gold. You want to buy gold because your quantitative analyst came up with that, but also notice statistically the trend is negative. So you talk to your technical analyst and they say, not yet. You see how beautiful this is? Beautiful, right? You're going to need an ECN, I'm telling you. Once you start using TRADARS and QuantBox together properly, your broker, if they're B-booking you, are not going to like it. They're going to start messing with your spreads and hunting your stops and all kinds of things to get you to lose because they don't like the fact you're going to start winning. So move over to an ECN with straight-through processing like Trader's Way. They don't trade against you. It's just that simple. There's no B-booking. It's not how an ECN works. They want you to succeed. That is so unique. Okay? So a normal broker is basically a dark pool. The trades never leave the broker. You're trading against someone else in their pool of clients. And they know, like a casino, eventually everybody in the pool is going to lose. So if you're the divergent one, and you're actually winning, they're going to go, whoa, 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 who's this creep? And they're going to find reasons to get you out of that pool. An ECN just, with straight-through processing, it goes into a pool of liquidity providers. So the person on the other side of your trade isn't another trader. It's Goldman Sachs. It's JP Morgan. Okay? It's in the interbanking system. So that's why you want that meta. There's no conflict of interest. Most brokers want you to lose. All right. So anyways, so when you start having good tools like this stuff and you're like, whoa, so you're sitting here waiting to buy gold? Not yet, not yet, not yet. You're making very intelligent decisions. Okay? Well, that's what's on your platform, Richard. Anyways, so summer school, sign up, learn how to trade. It's cheap, but it's important. Okay? I'm going to move my camera here. Hang on, I think this is what you're asking. Is this what you're asking for, Richard? Roderick says, is the stock course included? Yes, I haven't done it yet. So I'll have to figure out actually how to do it. But yeah, I'll include the stock market course. I'll put it in there so you can learn how to trade the stock market as well as go through the practical exercise of learning how to pull the trigger properly. And use things like market opens and volatility, right? Order flows. That's what you need. Well, these are the orders sitting in the pool of liquidity providers. All right. Let's go through the process. Let's go through our routine. Dollar's weak. Yen is weak. Swissy is strong today. Whoa, what? What do you think? Is it the role reversal? Could be a rabbit, could be. Okay, Swissy is strong. Okay. Yeah, Emerald, that's possible, sure. So Richard's talking about different pricing and all that. Look, when my buddies contact various brokers, they're looking for things like spreads, they're looking at fees, they're looking at lines of credit, and they negotiate. So, so you go to a prime dealer and like, what can you offer me? Even the prime dealer will take you out for steak dinners. But to get those types of, I guess what you're saying is get the lower cost and all that. They pop in millions, many millions. Okay. My buddies don't have billions, but they have millions, right? So they're like, yeah, so we're going to pop in, X number of M into this account, and what kind of services can you offer, and what are the fees? And then, and you can shop around different prime brokers, and they compete for the business. Pretty simple. Retail traders that got like $2,000. Well, how does the broker even pay for the expenses when you have $2,000 in the account, right? So, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. Now, if you put in, let's say, $50,000, $100,000, and then you contact your broker, you're like, hey, I want better swaps. Yeah, maybe they'll do it, but they need that to cover the cost of being in the being in the business. And most retail traders, they don't care about swaps and stuff like that. So very often you'll get charged swaps instead of collecting swaps. But you can negotiate that if you got money, right? So, Richard, it's like usually you can get anything you want as long as you got money. But it's expensive to be a broker, huh? Okay. Now the thing is, when you're an ECN client, you pay a fee and have almost no spread. Oh, absolutely, Richard, for sure. How much can a retail Forex broker do for you? I don't know. But hedge funds shop around prime brokers all the time. So what else is going on? Pound generally doing well. Kiwi generally doing well. Aussie, do you remember how we had this all? Okay, we were in an uptrend but falling, so then, we got down, and look at us bouncing on this. Just amazing, huh? So we're doing all right, but we're running into this, and so maybe there's a down before the next up. This was part of my China recovery trade, remember? I don't know, Richard. Maybe you'll have to visit the site and click the button. Okay? I think it's stupid cheap. Okay? I've tried to make it accessible for everyone. Right? Like, for example, one class at Harvard, I probably spent somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000, and I took 40 or 50 classes. Yes, Richard, it's a class. Yep. Yeah, it really is. But, I want everyone to take it. That's why, you know, I'm always surprised that more people just don't do it. I just, to me, I'm baffled. But whatever, I'm just here to serve. So let's take a look and see what's going on. Is there going to be an up day? Okay, so let's take a look. We're in a buy zone. All right. So what do you want to do today? Do you want to buy this? Let's say the answer is yes. Is this the right time of day? Yes. So what am I going to wait for? I'm going to wait for a 21.55 cross, and then I'm going to buy dips. What are you going to do? I got it all planned out. I'm going to just sit on the fiver all day. And it's going to do this today, or I don't do it. And somewhere soon, let's try to make that a little bit darker blue. I don't have a lot of colors. Okay, somewhere along this line, it's going to do this, right? If I'm right with my guess, we call the guess a hypothesis, then I know precisely what I'm going to do. And I'm going to fire for effect. I have the confidence and will and skill to execute my strategy. This is what I'm going to do the rest of the day. You ready? Buy. 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 And then probably out. No, not a day per class. Yeah. No, like I don't know actually how much I spent because I also lived at Harvard over the summers. So if you throw in housing and I lived in the dorms, I ate in the houses, I studied in the libraries, I know how Harvard is a home. I know all the little stores and all the restaurants, So how much did I spend? Well, I could have bought a Ferrari. Okay. My son and I have a very similar attitude because I don't have a Ferrari, but I have these pieces of paper behind me. Okay. Harvard Business School, Oxford, MIT. It's all there. My son has a similar attitude where he bought his car and he likes working on his car. So he likes to go to car shows. I took him to the Concours d'Elegance, and we go to local car shows around Atlanta. The thing is, you get there, and very often you see 3 or 4 or 5 Lamborghinis in a row. All custom, beautiful cars, very fast, very expensive, and the proud owners standing next to them. And my son says, they didn't do any of the work themselves. I said, yeah, well, they paid a lot of money to customize them and do all the mods. And he's like, yeah, but they didn't do the work themselves. They just paid money. So they're rich. So what? They didn't do it themselves. They got some money. So what? They bought a nice car. Great. Good for them. Okay? He wants to talk to the guy that got his hands dirty. That's cool. I'm like, I'm proud of you, son. Yeah. Yeah, I was so proud when when my daughter's brakes started squeaking, so I took them to the shop, and they're like, yeah, $1,100 for a full brake job. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I told my wife, and she freaked out, and then told my son, and he freaked out. He's like, no way! So we brought the car home instead of having the mechanic do it for $1,100. My son just watched YouTube videos for 20 hours and then did the full brake job on her car for her. Yeah. It's pretty cool, huh? So, right? So anyways, yeah, summer school's cheap. Like, it does seem silly to me that it's so cheap. But it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. So it's offered to you. All right. So this is what I'm going to do the rest of the day. What are you going to do? So one of the things I could do here is I could have an analyst do the work. So again, we can go like, we can bring up my quant. Hey, quant, talk to me about euro dollar. What do you stink? And the quant says, oh yeah, we're good. We're at 10. We got everything. COT flat, retail flat, right? 50-50 flat. See, 50-50 flat. So we know it's flat, but seasonally we can go long. Technically the trend is up, so we got a green light. We got a green light if we want to. It's not the world's greatest, but it's a green light. Good. So then I have another meeting. Okay, and now I call my technical analyst. Okay, let's get that in there. Is it gonna? It's a different browser. Yeah, it's a different browser. So we go into the radar. Okay, and I'm like, okay, so we're interested in euro dollar, right? Great. Let's turn Forex off, except for euro dollar, and we're already a bull. Okay, so now 30 minutes down, not interested. But notice there's an up and a down. Ooh, we're here on the C. This came out 5 minutes ago. Now notice what it's saying, right? It's saying down, but down after it rallies up to 109.13. Well, we're at 108.5 or something. So it's going to go up 50 or 60 pips, and then you should probably take some profit. There's a giant maybe. We're sitting on C right now. Okay, there's a down pattern identified 3 hours ago that it's coming back down to support. It could drop as low as 108.27, so that's not great. But looking out on the longer time frame, TRADARS has noticed that we're in a triangle here, and that we are breaching resistance to go for another higher high. Looks like actually the first level target is 109.57, but probably close to 110. So this is like saying, yeah, we're kind of, yeah, there's a giant maybe here. This came out yesterday. And this came out 6 minutes ago. Notice it, 7 minutes ago. Notice it just updated. So we might be in a C here. So there is a maybe happening. If we're not going to drop to 27, then we're going to stabilize at 50 and then work our way up almost as much as 100 pips. We can go as high as 109.50. This says as high as 110. The target is 57 on this pattern. The conservative target is 57 on this time frame. The conservative target is 47 on this one. Aha! With the potential for higher. Okay. Okay, boys. And we are at, so we dropped to 27. In fact, we dropped to 00. And now we're turning north. Okay. So that's the trade plan for today. We'll probably get as high, potentially, conservative, right? Conservative is, what was it, 47? Now, check this out. Look. Check it out. Look. I already have it on the chart. This has nothing to do with TRADARS. It's already my trade plan. So TRADARS is noticing a pattern. I'm using pivot points. My pivot points say it turns here and the conservative target is there. TRADARS is not using pivot points. It's using patterns. It's not using indicators. It's using patterns. And it says bloody well the same dang thing. 109.47. I have 109.42. Good enough for the girls I go with. Now you have solid technical analysis and solid fundamental analysis. Oh my God. You are good. Andrew, I'm not sure of how to activate that particular feature. I don't know how that's done. It's not like I turned it off because I don't like deaf people. You know what bugs me? Deaf people. So, I'm like, I'm going to turn that off just to make it, just to ruin it for the hard of hearing. Yeah. So, man, I'll see if I can do it. Yeah. Yeah. So how do they do it? How do they do it? I don't know. Maybe there's like you delay the feed by 5 minutes and then it creates a transcript. And then it shows it. So what I do when I set this up is I try to get the stream to be as real time as possible. There's usually a 20 to 40 second delay just based on YouTube, but I have everything set to fast. But I bet you if you slow it down and delay it 1 minute, it would give it time to write the transcript and then do the closed caption. Oh, look. Actually, I found it. And it is off. All right. Okay, this is it. This is why. I just found it. In fact, I think I can show it to you without making it all weird. All right. Because I have it on ultra low latency, it does not support closed captions. I could slow it down and then it could do it because it does need time to create the caption. So it has to hear me say it first. It can't do it, obviously, in real time. Yeah. If I remember tomorrow, I'll see if it matters if I drop it from ultra low latency to low latency. What? Sorry, bad joke. All right, so yeah. Yeah, by the way, I served in the American United States Navy for 1 day. I signed up for 8 years and I lasted 1 day. Signed the contract though. I interviewed with the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard. I think that's it. The Navy gave me a great deal. Top Gun certified. Richard says, what about the RSI? Does that work? Yeah. Oh, JP did 4 years in the Navy? Yeah. Well, they kicked me out because I was diabetic. That was the day I learned out that I was diabetic. They wrote down on my little clipboard while I sat in a chair in a hallway in a government building. Just the most sterile environment. I'm sitting on this plastic chair in my underwear. No shirt, no pants, no socks. I might add socks, I don't remember. But just sitting in this plastic chair in my underwear for they're like, sit in this chair. Okay. Like 90 minutes later, you don't know what's going on. They just sit in this chair. Sir, yes, sir. You sit in the chair, they go away. People are walking around, coming and going. Nobody knows why you're there. You're like, dude, did they forget me? Am I just going to sit here until I die? 90 minutes later, it could have been 2.5 hours later. The doctor comes again. He's like, go in this room, pee in this cup. So I did. He goes away. I give him the cup. Goes away. Right, sit in the chair. So I sit back down in the chair. Comes back, I don't know, another half an hour. Just shows up. He's like, clipboard. He writes something on my clipboard. Red line. Okay. Right? And you just follow the red line and it goes to a counselor. I'm out. I said, does this mean I won't fly airplanes? He said, son, I wouldn't give you a rifle, yet alone a $200 million airplane, right? And that's it. That's out. That was my day in the United States Navy. Jim's story's longer. Yeah. That was my 1 day. It's sad though because I passed all the tests with flying colors. I remember the written exams. We did a whole morning of written exams. And of the group, I'm guessing there was 24 of us. Maybe even less actually. It was weird, maybe there was 18 of us. And they put you into a room and they're like, we're going to do an exam. But I'm like, but there's 75 desks in this room. There's 18 of us. Are you sure you were in the right room? Well, for the military, if you need 18, 75 will do, right? But out of the 18, 3 of us passed the exam. And I was one of them. And you're like, oh, snap. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you see what we're doing here? This is how you're supposed to be trading. Now, you can go through the process and then you'll get into a situation like this. Maybe there's 3 things you're going to trade today. Okay? Or 4 things based on your analysis. You whittle it down to a few things. And there should be logic and intelligence between these few things. There should be congruency. So like, let's say it looks like you're going to sell the US dollar today because you're risk on. Okay, so that should be the same across the board. See, what that does is you're creating an index. You're like, I don't really know anything about the Aussie dollar. And I don't really know much about the euro. And I don't really know much about the Kiwi dollar. And I don't know much about the pound. But what I do know is I'm going to sell the USD today. And then you've done some relative strength exercises to analyze which ones you want to pick on. So you're like, okay, if the US dollar is going to be weak, you might have done your research on all your charts and you're asking specific questions. You're not looking for a trade. That's where you go wrong. You're asking specific questions. You've already identified that you believe the US dollar is going to be weak today. So is the Aussie strong? And is the Aussie stronger than the euro? Is it stronger than the CAD? Is Aussie stronger than the Kiwi? Is Aussie stronger than the pound? Is it stronger than the Swiss franc? Like, make a decision through solid research. So then you're like, Wayne, you've never taught me that. Did you know that that's what these do? Euro is stronger than the Aussie. Kiwi is stronger than the Aussie. CAD is stronger than the Aussie. Dollar is stronger than the Aussie. Yen is stronger than the Aussie. Swiss franc is stronger than the Aussie. And pound is stronger than the Aussie. So, why the heck are you trading Aussie? What's wrong with you? There's something seriously wrong with you. You're guessing. You're flying by the seat of your pants. Why are you trading Aussie? I like it. I like it a lot. Dude, seriously? You're guessing. Then you're like, I don't know how to do all that, Wayne. Okay, well then you could maybe look at short-term indices and say, okay, Aussie just might be weak. See, I've already done all these tools for you. For 20 years, I've been teaching these scans. We call them relative strength exercises. But if you're not able or willing to do that, then you can just look at like Aussie versus everything, and it's weak. Look, it's weak. It's weak. So why are you trying to buy it? You're supposed to be selling US dollar, but not against something weak. You want to sell US dollar versus something that is strong. Bravo, right? I know that sounded bitchy, but I'm trying to hit home. I'm trying to hit you hard so you remember. Okay? All right? Did I hit home? Did I hit you hard? Did I make my point? Don't go to your charts to look for trades. You've been trying that for years and you know it fails. You must stop. Spend your time doing solid research so that you look at the right things. So I already knew today, because we did this hours ago, that Swiss franc is ridiculously strong. We already know. It's done. We know. Okay? CAD down. Euro down. Aussie down. Kiwi up. Swissy up. Dollar down. Yen up. Yeah. Some profit taking or intervention. Could be a rabbit. Could be. Okay. Yeah, I read what you said, Jim. Yes, thank you to the many people here that have served. And I was going to say, well, what about me? I gave up a whole day. But I'll never remember or I'll never forget, because the military, after chauffeuring me around for over a year, taking me out to dinner and doing this, that, and the other thing, they gave me a BART token. And I'm in downtown Oakland, California. Oh, my God. And they're just like, find your way home. Here's a BART token, which is the subway. And so I remember I was devastated. And on this part of BART, you're above ground. And you're heading towards San Francisco Bay. And I lived on the other side, on the San Francisco side. And I'm devastated. I'm not going to be an astronaut. I'm not going to be a pilot. I've been working for so long. I mean, I love airplanes. And just devastated. Like, what am I going to do? It's been my prime focus for years. And then BART goes underground because it goes under the San Francisco Bay. And I remember by the time we popped up on the other side, I remember under the San Francisco Bay, I thought to myself, cheer up. I'm not going to be a pilot. It's done, right? So I said, I guess I'll go and be a businessman. And then you're back up on the San Francisco side and there's daylight again. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be a businessman. Yeah, David, right there. They love you until they don't love you. Yeah. But so anyways, I mean, really, so that was a moment in time I'll never forget. Right? And so I guess I'll be a businessman. And that was kind of interesting because many of you know my story where I was stuck in rural Canada and I'm like, I need to radically change my life. You know, you get to a point of anywhere but here. And so I spent much of that time preparing to become an astronaut. I'm like, I can live in rural Canada or I can fly to the International Space Station. That's a pretty good goal for how old was I? 16? I think it was 16. I'm like, you know what? I live in rural Canada. There's no jobs. There's no work. There's no life. There's no entertainment. And I realized if I stayed there, it's alcoholism and teenage pregnancy. That's what awaited me. And I'm like, but I want to see the world, and I want to go to opera, and I want to, I don't know, just like, I want anything but here. And then I could be an astronaut. But I'm a funny dude because suddenly that's what I want to do. So anyway, so I spent years preparing for that and then failed. I was well on my way. At that point, by the time I failed, I'd worked 2 summers at NASA. I mean, dude, like I was on my way. So it turns out I can't be an astronaut. And so at that time, I'm 18. And by the time I'm 20, that's when I'm on that board of directors with George Soros, the vice president of General Electric, the vice president of Arthur Andersen, the former president of AT&T, a representative of the United Nations. Dude, that's a pretty good 2 years. When you say, I guess I'll be a businessman. And suddenly, I'm on the board of directors. Yeah. Cool, right? So the world is an interesting place, but you got to max it out. Okay? Which means when you make a change, you got to make a radical change now. So again, going back to this, humans are habitual. And it's very, very possible that you log in every day and you listen to me and you're like, oh, he makes a valid point here. He makes a valid point there. And then you just go back to doing what you do. Even if it hasn't worked for years. And, well, you have to destroy that. You have to be radical. One of the things I enjoy is being obsessed. I like obsession. You need to obsess with your trading. And if obsession for you means staring at your charts and just randomly throwing down trades, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. But like I'm showing you these tools, like you need to understand a fundamental bias. Okay, would you consider a 5-year education at Harvard focusing on economics? Is that obsession? Would you spend $100,000 or $200,000 learning economics? Would you do that? I would. Right? I know David Pegler did the Series 3. I did the Series 3. That takes a lot of training and practice and reading because it has nothing to do with Forex, but you're required to do it as a professional money manager. They're like, this is the NFA. You need to do the Series 3. And then you're like, okay, well, that sounds good. I'm a Forex trader. How hard could it be? And then they're like, okay, you're a grain elevator operator and you're purchasing, 10,000 bushels of corn. And you're worried about the prices in the market doing this or that. And you're like, what the heck? But you know what? 70% of professionals fail that exam. So anyways, what I'm getting at is don't focus on trading. Focus on particular little tiny aspects and master them. Okay, that's huge. Okay, the JOLTS report. So I covered that today in QuantBox. Okay, where's my QB? Here. All right, so I'll show you JOLTS and how that fits in. So you got to have good data, everybody. If you don't have good data, you're random. You're a random walk. Okay, so we go to JOLTS right here. I have this data. Okay, the average is 8.79 over the last 5 years. Okay, the last report here was forecasted 8.68, but it came out 8.49, which is less than expected. Sorry, I can't zoom in here. I messed up the zoom. Okay, but anyways, you can see here, it came out less than expected and below average. And that is good. So when you get, when you get a low print, like, what was it, 8.9? I don't think it'll be here yet. Let's see. Yeah, it hasn't pulled it yet. It'll take a few bit. So if we're nowhere close to this and way below that and below 8.79, we are definitely going in the right direction. Okay? So maybe we go back to the euro trade. Where did we have it? I thought I had it here. No, this one. Sorry. Okay. Oh, do you see the giant arrow I drew? You're welcome. Okay. And do you remember the plan? Is it still drawn here? Okay. Do you remember the plan? Do you remember the time we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met, girl? Yeah. Do you remember the plan? I expressed this fundamentally first, then technically, then we drew the plan, and then we dropped into a 5-minute, and I said, this is what I'm going to do the rest of the day. What are you going to do? Okay. This is my take profit from 2 days ago. So I might as well move it up. I want to get paid some more money. I like money. Give me more money. Shoot, let's take it up even further. Yeah, give me my money. I like money. Give me, right? I got to move. Give me the juice. Give me more money. Cool. That's that. That's how you trade. Well, that's how I trade. That's how I trade. Okay? And you got to focus on each and every one of these little tiny pieces. Okay? These tiny pieces include, are you watching the daily? Okay? Did you see we kicked off the 5 EMA? I did. That was a big part of my plan. If you didn't see that, you're not sure what I'm doing. Okay? Or did you see the kickoff the 2155? Do you have a predictive tool? Let's do custom. Oops. Oh. Sorry, I got a cheap mouse. Indicators, custom, and we'll drop you. Where is it? Oh, I got to go to zero lag moving average. Pulls this up, 21. Okay, great. I'll make it super fat. Okay. And so I'm trying to line all these things up. Okay, there's the old buy zone. Here's the new buy zone. There's the daily 5 EMA. All that kind of stuff. But also quantitatively, as you know, I got a 10 on this for QuantBox. So you could put your fundamentals here. QB equal 10. Cool. So I'm in the buy the dip mode on this daily chart. Okay. And this is cool. So I got all this rationale somewhere in here to be a buyer. Okay. There's my prime buying. And less prime buying is lower. I don't really want it to fall that much, but I could. So now, because I set this up on a daily, imagine this was a 15-minute chart. Okay? Imagine this was 15. And let's say I buy this double bottom, higher high, higher low. This is an easy trade. And so typically if it was a 15-minute chart, you'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, roll reversal. Add another one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, new roll reversal. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Well, we're just in this mode. So from here, it's probably if this continues. See, that's the part we don't know. We don't know if it'll continue, but that's our plan. So we have the up, then the down. So I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, let's say 12, 13. There's the next couple of weeks. And my plan, okay, my plan is A, you want to buy it with B, higher high. Oops. C, roll reversal. D, higher high. I have the next 2 weeks planned out. How are you doing? This is what we do at the swing trading group. You don't know how to swing, you don't know how to trade. Okay? Think about that. The next 2 weeks are already planned out. Now, if I'm right, I'm going to make money. If I'm wrong, it'll be obvious, and I'll know to stop trading. But every individual day is not random. Okay? If you go to your charts in the morning and you're trying to figure out what you're going to trade today and in what direction, am I going to buy this? If you go through your charts, think about this. When you cycle through your charts, what does this look like? What does that look like? If you cycle through your charts and you're looking for trades, that's your failure. Jay, when did I say that? I don't recall saying that. Okay, so if you're cycling through your charts looking for trades, that, my friend, is your failure. Awesome, D. Sunny D. Heavy D in the boys. D light. Yeah. Yeah, D-Light. You like that one? Groove is in the house. Yeah. Cool. So anyways, I think I hit you hard today. Sorry. Don't mean to slap you around too much. But I do need to connect with you psychologically, emotionally, intellectually. Okay? So that you make wise decisions. Okay? So for example, can I buy silver? Let's just do this quickly. Can I buy silver somewhere in that range? Well, that's the roll reversal. That's a leading indicator. I have a lagging indicator in which, because it's down here and price is here, but I think they're going to converge somewhere there. What do you think? So if I'm right, I'm going to wait. And somewhere in the future, you'll probably find me here. That's my gift to you. So you might have to wait 72 hours. The thing is, are you strong enough? Are you patient enough? Do you have discipline? Yeah. Where's the trade, Wayne? Where's the trade? You have to be patient and disciplined. Are you patient? Yeah. Are you disciplined? Oh, yeah, most of the time. Okay? You can do this, but you can't trade your way into success. You're going to have to break everything down into small digestible pieces so that you become the smartest person in the room when it comes to trading, or at least 1% smarter than the person on the other side of your trade. And ultimately, what's going to happen if you practice right, by being taught right, of course, is that you will develop patience and discipline. Hardcore. Everyone else is just a liquidity event. You will be independently thinking, and everybody else is just providing you liquidity. Cheers.